Guys, this is not a drill. This is not a drill. There's a new DLC that's out. And for the ones who stuck with me for a while, you already know how much I love this game. And the game we're talking about is Who Murdered My Empress? We played the POV of our MC and the POV of our male interest and all the other bonus content POVs and all the spicy stuff. So we're now blessed from V herself, the newest POV free DLC that's out. And I'm not just saying it just cuz I'm saying it, but like you guys already know, I'm a huge fan of this game, and I absolutely love the way the game has been written and the art and the plot and just everything about it, the pacing. I cannot stress enough, this game is amazing. And for the people who loves visual novel, this is definitely a must try. If you like the game, you can check it out there. Or if you want to know more about the game in general, I have it pinned on, in the chat. Because, I think it's on sale right now. Actually, let me double check just in case. I think it's on sale right now. Yep, it is on sale, 50% off, so get it while you can. Cause I swear, this is such a good read. It is such a good game to play. Oh my god, Weeping, welcome in. Let me tell you, there's a new DLC, okay? I'm tell you that. Hell yeah, thank you for the stretch. And there you go, there's the hydrate. Thank you, girl. I'm waiting for my tea to seep. So we got that. Yeah, if you guys don't know about this game, it's a free DLC, by the way, if you already own the game. But right now it's 50% off, and I highly encourage you guys to check it out. You already know all the feral things I've said for this game, so you already know how it's like for me. But for the ones who don't know about Who Murdered My Empress, long story short, TLDR, right? It's a romantic mystery visual novel, right? You play as the MC. You're basically like a modern day cop, and then you suddenly wake up in the body of an empress back in like 1845 Vietnam, and then suddenly you're in a royal palace, right? Full of rumors, secrets, and all the jazz that, palace people have, all the tea. You literally have tons of consorts, right, doing their own thing, and then you kind of have to figure out what's going on because you suddenly are in this body that's not yours, and you're pretending to be this queen, this empress that you know nothing of much at all. So it has, one main love interest, but it also has a lot of like political drama, mystery, and all the choices you decide to go for will unlock different things. There are different endings, there are good ones, there are bad ones, and it's just beautiful because this game is really beautifully designed with like historical touches, and is also for a mature audience. So if you're into that stuff, which is like, I don't really see games out there with this type of like setting at all. So if you've never seen something like this, it's your lucky day. It's on sale. Freaking get it. 50% off, on sale, free DLC, and unlock all the stuff that you want to unlock because it's so worth it. I'm telling you this right now. And without further fucking ado, we're going straight into the game because I've been waiting, and I cannot believe V has come in with a free DLC of Empress La Femme's POV. Oh my god, holy shit. Young professor, when you said that we're gonna go to 1,000, I thought you were kidding. I thought you were you're like, haha, that's so funny. You're so funny. No, he's not kidding. Thank you, professor. Thank you once again for the gift subs. You are insane. Oh my god. Every single time, man, you're just giving me stress out here. It is hot right now. I can't use my model because my computer's slowly rising in temperature. And then suddenly you hit me with the hype train. We are very grateful. Thank you so much, young professor. You're awesome. I hope you're having a lovely day so far. Keep cool where you're at, because it's getting there. It's getting to summer and it's getting hot. And my house feels like a greenhouse. My room especially is like a greenhouse. So if you hear anything in the back, any fans, any air purifiers going on, I don't have an AC yet, but imagine if I do have an AC, it would be really loud. But you know what? We gotta do what we gotta do, right? Thank you once again, young professor. We really do appreciate it. You're awesome. Thank you so much. Oh my god. Okay, we're here. We're here to have a good time. That's what we're here for. So, spoiler alert, right? This POV is for people who've already completed the main story, the love interest's main story, all the bonus contents already finished, unlocked. Then you can play this free DLC. So get those done first and then go back here. So we encountered a little bit of a bug, but that's okay because all games have bugs. But you know what? V is very kind and she is working on it. So don't worry if you find yourself being like, oh, how come I can't unlock this POV right now? It's because you just need a little trigger. You just need to go through the main story and just hit skip and just go through the whole story, including all the other ones. I think it just automatically just goes through all of it. So that's what I did, and it takes like less than 5 minutes. I kid you not. You click skip and it just does the work for you. So if you want to play it right at this moment, you have to go through this process in order to play the POV. But V already knows the issue and she's already working on it, and she said she'll take care of it. Hopefully it'll be accessible easier for you guys. So I believe in her, and I know she'll make it good for us, you know, for the viewers, for the players. So yeah, super excited. Let's get it. Let's go. So like, oh my god, Empress La Femme's POV. Here we go. This is kind of crazy, and I'm guessing Empress La Femme's POV is Empress herself. So it's not Mai, right? What I'm guessing, it's not Mai, it's actually the Empress. So if you guys haven't seen the original, or you don't mind, original as in went through the whole main story yet, feel free to grab the game and then go through it yourself. So just to let you know, there's probably some spoilers, maybe. I don't know what the extent is in this POV, but just a little disclaimer, you know. But if you don't mind that, feel free to join me and watch me holler at these beautiful people and these beautiful and the beautiful characters. We're just gonna go with it. We're just whoo. I hope we can finish this all in one go. I don't know how long this POV is, but if it's short, we still here. But look, we're finishing it real quick, but we'll try to breeze through it. Hopefully it won't take too long. I was hoping we can possibly get it done in one day, as in this stream session. So I wonder how long this is. All right, let's get it. The first snow in Daviet. All right, Weeping, I might need your help again because I might not know how to say the names correctly. Help. It doesn't touch on the main story outside of Empress La Femme, no spoilers. Oh, thank you so much, Basquatch. I really appreciate it. Thank you for letting me know. Because I don't know and I don't want to say anything like that'll, you know. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, so it's best to be like, I don't know how much of the spoilers there is in there or not, but thank you for confirming that, Squatch. I really appreciate it. So yeah, there's no spoilers. Great. We just get to know Empress La Femme's POV right now, which is great. Thank you for the hype train again, young professor. Now we get a hype chest. Let's open it together. What is it? Oh my god. Yes. We got a serve kitty. Hell yeah. You're awesome, young professor. Okay. Let's get it. Wait, is my tea done? My tea is done. I pour it into my ice cold drink. Am I drinking breakfast tea at I don't know, 6:50 p.m. Yes. Even though it's not breakfast. I love breakfast tea, so I'm gonna drink it right now. Okay, disclaimer. This POV follows the perspective of a character who makes morally questionable and outright evil choices. This story delves into themes that some may find disturbing: animal abuse, human abuse, and violence. Reader discretion is advised. So, disclaimer. Go ahead and read that. All right. Okay, everybody good? Let's continue. Again, the art is so good. The former emperor had once joked with his little princess that when the ever-blooming apricot blossom withered and the first snow kissed the ground of the imperial palace, he would name her as his successor to the throne over her elder brother. Of course, in Daviet, where spring's humid warmth reigned eternal, it never snowed. It was an odd joke to make to a child, but it was his poetic way of declaring that she would never rule this nation. Ouch, brother, you pushed me! The small princess cried out. As she hit the ground, her 6-year-old frame, fragile and slight, couldn't withstand the intentional shove from her elder brother. I'm just practicing so I can be stronger. He crossed his arms, his smugness apparent. That really hurt, you know? The princess looked up at her brother. You're weak. Playing with you isn't fun. With a disdainful huff, the young prince turned on his heel, striding away and leaving his sister on the cold wooden floor of the palace. Blood trickled down her scraped knee from the fall, but the little princess didn't cry. She didn't even feel sad, not in the way sadness was described in books and stories, yet she didn't mean she felt nothing. She was bothered. Her mind wandered to other royal siblings she had seen in the palace, like Tang and his brothers. I hope I said his name correct because I already forgot how to say his name correctly. They laughed together, looked out for one another. Wasn't her brother supposed to care for her? Protect her? Love her? But what even was love? What is love? I had to. It was a word she had heard and wondered about, though it was far too heavy a thought for a child her age. She just knew that she didn't understand it, but she understood enough to sense that something inside her wasn't right. Her injured leg trembling, she made her way back to her chamber. She had skipped her literature lessons to play with her brother, but now her maid must have surely been worrying. As she passed through the palace halls, voices from the shadows caught her attention. How was your first day here? Thank you for asking. It was alright. If I may, do you have any advice for me? Besides following the rules, you do well to understand which of the royal siblings hold favor. The crown prince and the princess? Yes, the crown prince's temper can be harsh, but he's the favored child. If I were you, I'd stayed on his good side. That's odd. The princess seems so lovely, so pretty and well-mannered. Why is she unfavored? Well, when she was born, the court whispered of a curse. They said she would be incapable of love and would bring misfortune to the whole nation. The princess stood still, eavesdropping on the maids. This wasn't the first time she'd overheard whispers like this. Though her young mind couldn't fully grasp the complexities of politics or how the balance of power between royal siblings could sway the fate of a nation, she understood one thing with clarity. It was yet another reason to not anger her father. Her father, the emperor, had never been close to her. In fact, when she searched her memories for the few moments they had shared, like the time she had been scared of thunderstorms and ran to her father's chamber, all she could recall was him chasing her out, scorning her for not behaving like a princess. His visible disdain etched in every word. She winced as the pain from her knee throbbed, but she bit her lip and pushed herself forward. If she could just hide her wound before reaching her chamber, then her personal maid would notice and report her skipped lesson to her father. She's injured. Come on now. She knew better than to expect affection from him. Such notions were foreign to her. Yet, despite everything, she found herself chasing after something intangible. His approval. He was, after all, the son of heaven, the man who wielded the greatest power in the nation. Perhaps it was her young heart clinging to the faint hope that, if he acknowledged her, she would also become great, whatever that meant. Looking around to make sure the halls were empty, she walked as quietly as her small, injured frame allowed. But just as she thought she was in the clear, a familiar voice rang out, making her jolt. Lele. She froze for a second. Tang was always trailing after her like a shadow, but why did he have to show up now, of all times? No time to play. I need to go back to my chamber. Her tone was clipped as she picked up her pace, hoping to leave him behind. She couldn't deal with him right now. She's like, I can't deal with you right now. I gotta go. I got better business to go to. For a moment, Tang hesitated. She shooed him away often, usually with the same sharp tone, but as his eyes drifted down, he spotted the streaks of blood on her knee. Oh, she's still not treated. Oh no. I feel bad for her. It's like, I know, I'm like thinking of the stuff that she did as an adult, and then now it's like, as a kid, you can't really blame her, you know? Wait, Lele, you're hurt. Her annoyance flared. Why couldn't he just leave her alone? Ignoring his call, she quickened her steps, wincing with every movement. Stop, Lele. Let me see your wound. Leave me alone. Why do you care? She shot back at him, her voice sharper than she intended. Because A faint blush spread across his cheeks. Aw, it's a little crush. Oh. For a 10-year-old boy, his feelings are hard to comprehend. He knew that he had been taught by his family, known for their great moral standing, that a man should be righteous, honest, and unafraid to speak his heart. That thought alone was enough to overpower the embarrassment knotting his stomach. Because I know people don't treat you well enough. So as your fiancé, it's my responsibility to make up for all the ways they mistreated you. Now will you stop and let me take care of your wound? They've already engaged. Her footsteps faltered, and for the first time ever, for a quick-witted girl as she was, she didn't know how to respond to someone. Okay. As she watched her young fiancé and childhood friend carefully bandaging her wound, Princess Lifam's mind raced with restless thoughts. You should be careful next time, okay? I don't want you to get hurt. Tang's hands were clumsy, but gentle, his brow furrowed in concentration. After he was done, Tang stood up. I have something for you. He pulled out something from his big sleeve. His cheeks bright red as he handed the small princess a piece of paper. Though the figure on the paper was not perfect, and the strokes uneven, the princess recognized what it was instantly. Oh, wait, give me 1 second. I got a text. Okay. I haven't eaten dinner yet, so I'm figuring out dinner right now as I'm streaming. But you know what? It's you know, I was too excited. I really wanted to play the game, knowing that the new DLC's out. So dinner will have to wait just a little more. So here we go. This is a painting of my face. Yes, I know. I know I'm not good at painting, but I still wanted to give it to you. You drew me? Why? Ah, you are my fiance, so I need to take care of you and do things to make you happy. Princess Lefams intensely stared at the painting. His actions felt sincere, but she was not sure how she should feel about this. Thank you. Putting the painting away into her sleeve. It's really hot. Let me lift up the blinds real quick. Oh, why is this so hot? Oh, I hate summer like this. Okay. Putting the painting away into her sleeve, her fingers lingered on the rough sensation of the rice paper. Why was it so hard to know how she should feel about Tang? Should she feel grateful? Should she love him? Isn't that what fiancés were supposed to do? But even as she tried to grasp the idea, she's still very young though, like, it's hard to understand that concept. It slipped away like water through her fingers. The interesting thing is, I've noticed that Empress Lefam's hair accessory is still the same as her adult one. That means I'm guessing she has been using it ever since she was a child. Like, that was her status. Like, she had that hair accessory. Interesting. So it's not just like a chibi version of her, even though technically yeah, it's a younger version of her, but she still has the same hair accessory, right? Today she snuck out to the streets again. A forbidden act she liked to indulge in whenever palace life felt too suffocating. This time, Tang insisted on following her, trailing after her like a persistent shadow. His stubbornness meant that when the guards inevitably caught her, they caught him too. Tang, you are supposed to be the responsible one, yet you agreed to leave the palace with her without supervision? Your Majesty, it was my idea all along. Lele was just following me. Please punish me alone. Alright, I appreciate your honesty, but you will take full responsibility for your actions. Kneel here overnight. If my guards see you stand up at any point, Princess Li Fam will kneel with you. And I will have a talk with your father. This is unacceptable behavior for the future husband of a princess. Yes, Your Majesty. Hours passed as Tang knelt on the ground, on the rough, uneven stone ground. Princess Lefam watched him quietly from the shadows, her small figure hidden behind a pillar. Did he do this willingly? Enduring punishment for my sake because he loves her? She thought to herself. Then, without warning, the clouds opened up and rain poured down in heavy sheets, hammering against the stone courtyard. The guards retreated to shelter, but Tang remained, his small frame trembling under the onslaught of rain, his resolve unbroken. Is it cold in the rain? She wondered. The words of a pure expression of curiosity. At first, her young mind didn't connect the rain with Tang kneeling there in the storm. Then something clicked. She remembered the stories she'd heard. The tales of what love meant. Loving someone, they said, meant doing things that showed you cared. And then, a mission began to form in her mind. A childish, stubborn resolution. She needed to feel something. She needed to understand what it was like to love, truly love something. Only then could she fix what felt broken inside her. She is a child. You are thinking a little too far, girl. But I think I get what she meant. Like, I guess she wanted to get her father's favor compared to her brother too, right? Like, there's that love. Moments later, Tang looked up, startled by the sudden presence of a small figure standing over him. His pale face widened in surprise as he realized what his fiancée was doing. Princess Li Fam stood there with an umbrella in her hand, a thin fabric stretched over both their heads as she tried to shield him from the rain. Father said you had to kneel here the whole night, but he didn't say I couldn't be here with you. she states coldly and plainly, but her young eyes were watching him intently. She wanted to see his reaction, to see if this act of kindness would make her feel something, anything. For Tang, the moment hit like thunder. His cheeks flushed pink, his chest tightened as he looked at her standing in the rain, her expression as unreadable as always. Yet to him, it felt monumental. This small act of defiance, of care, was enough to make his young heart solidify in his resolve. Hey, Ulu! Man, I love beautiful women. Oh, otome game? Guess that leaves only Choco. God. Me and my little chibi self. Hi! How you doing, Ulu? Yeah. Man, this is the visual novel game that we have loved for the longest time ever since it was out, and we finally got to see the new free DLC of a different POV. So yeah, doing good. Hope the men are handsome and to your taste. They sure are. They sure are. Yep. They 100%. You know it. Yeah, it's like a new POV of the of like quote unquote main character. But if you're interested in checking out the game a little bit more, there is a link up there so you can check out the Steam page. Right now it's 50% off. Like totally doing this because we are a big fan of this game. Totally. We're just a huge fan of this game, that's it. We're just so excited that there's new content, you know? This was the moment he knew he would dedicate his entire life to her. He's like, she's my wife. I'ma wife her up when I grow up. I just know it. But for Princess Li Fam, this was purely an experiment. Give me one moment. Okay, I'm back. Gotta adjust my chair a little, making squeaky sounds. She stood there, letting the rain soak the hem of her dress as the silence between them stretched on. The experiment had been simple. God dang it, muted myself again. If caring for him stirred some sort of feeling within her, perhaps she could finally understand what love was meant to be. Yet, as the rain fell and the night deepened, she realized the truth. The experiment was a failure. No warmth bloomed in her chest. No joy, no satisfaction. Just a mild annoyance that her dress was now wet. She's a very misunderstood child when she was young, and it's unfortunate that she was in this environment where she felt no parental love and was always compared to. Like, sometimes you just can't blame her for like how she is as a child. She's trying her best as a kid, you know, to understand stuff too. And the morning came and the rain had stopped. When she finally returned to her chambers, and though her little legs tired from standing all night, her questions didn't quiet. They circled in her head, growing louder, fuzzier, and more overwhelming. She couldn't shake this nagging, annoying feeling that something was wrong with her. Something missing. Her eyes drifted to the small yellow bird in its golden cage by the window, a delicate creature gifted to her by her father on her birthday. It chirped softly, a sound that filled the quiet of her room. A wicked idea began to take shape. Oh no, I can already guess what's going on here. That's not good. If she couldn't figure out how to love it, perhaps she could find another way to feel something. Anything. Watching the bird's still warm body in her small hands, Princess Li Fam sighed. The golden feathers, once vibrant with life, now lay limp and unmoving. Her gaze lingered on it, her thoughts drifting to a common saying she had heard countless times. Fish in a chum, bird in a cage. To her, the meaning was clear. A bird confined to a cage could never truly live, and yet her decision to release the bird from its grim fate had not been born of compassion. There had been no pity for the creature, no yearning to set it free. It was curiosity, pure, unrelenting curiosity. She sat in the quiet solitude of her room, staring at the lifeless bird in her hand as though it were a puzzle she couldn't quite solve. Her lips parted, and she spoke softly to herself, as if trying to understand the results of her experiment. What was that I felt? She knew she had felt something. It wasn't love, nor was it hate. It was a fleeting, exhilarating sensation, a spark of emotion that flared and vanished in an instant. A strange satisfaction when she realized she held absolute control over the creature's fate. Her small fingers tightened slightly around the bird's body as she thought settled in her mind. It was about the thrill of power, the delicate, intoxicating realization that she could make decisions that determined whether something lived or died. It wasn't love, it wasn't joy, but it was something, and that alone made it worth the experiment. And that was the moment that defined how the princess would navigate her life from now on. She needed to be in control. Ooh, Jesus. Oof. Ooh, she became a... Wow. Villain era arc? Uh-oh. Years has passed, and the young princess has blossomed into a striking young maiden. Her fiery red hair and bold attitude captured attention wherever she walked. Some were frightened of her. Others avoided her altogether. There were those, like her father, who remained indifferent to her existence, and those, like her brother, who outright hated her. Fear, neglect, hatred, annoyance. These were heavy, potent emotions. Over the years, she had come to understand them, though some more intimately than others. Yet there remained one emotion that eluded her grasp. Love. She had desperately sought to comprehend it, year after year, as if unlocking its meaning might bring her a sense of completeness. In her pursuit, she had experimented at every extreme of the spectrum. She had shown kindness, like tending to Tang, her ever-loyal fiancé, or risking everything to save her childhood friend, Bui, from being tortured, an act that led her to kill her own brother. Yet she had also reveled in cruelty, hurting animals when she was a kid, disobeying her father's rules, and testing the limits of how much harm she could inflict on others. But none of it brought her closer to understanding love. Instead, it left her feeling weary and hollow. In her mind, chasing her father's... And that, if you hear kitchen sounds, I am so sorry. I had to open the door because it's really hot. Apologize in advance. Chasing her father's acknowledgement and respect seemed far simpler than attempting to grasp the complexities of this emotion. Oof. She has gone to that point, you know. Thinking about it. Your Majesty, perhaps it is time to name a potential heir. Indeed, Your Majesty, your health has been declining as of late. At the very least, you need to address the court's concerns about the matter of succession. I don't know. You don't know? I don't know. Your Majesty, forgive me, but I believe it is time to consider your only remaining heir, Princess Li Fam. I do not say this because I am her fiance, but because I genuinely believe she would be a wise and capable ruler. The Emperor's eyes narrowed, his expression growing colder as he turned his glare on Tang. Silence, all of you. This is not a decision I intend to rush. I don't trust these court officials. They're faceless and not a handsome EK. If they're handsome EK men's, would you go for that? Would you be like, oh my god, I would totally listen to you? His voice was sharp, and he let out a bitter scoff. Princess Li Fan, what has she done to prove herself worthy of the throne? My daughter or not, royal blood or not, she is nothing more than a mere woman. Okay, alright. The misogyny is real, you know, back in the day. 50-50. Oh my god, Ulu. The princess stood outside the throne room, hidden from view, but every word reached her ears. Her hands curled into tight fists, her nails digging into her palms as her father's voice echoed in her mind. She had always known his respect would be hard to earn, but hearing his outright dismissal was a final blow to any hope she had clung to. If her father refused to acknowledge her worth, she would need to prove she deserves respect. The best way to earn respect, in her opinion, is to induce fear. The best part is, she can do that by doing the thing she not only excels in, but deep down, genuinely enjoys. Ooh, she's a little dark. That year, when Daviet invaded Shangpai, the vast fields of Shangpai stretched across the smoky horizon, drenched in the dark crimson of blood and the stench of death. Among the murmurs of the field soldiers, one name was spoken in hushed, fearful tones. General Bam. It was rare enough for a woman in Daviet to lead an army, but rarer still for a woman to become a name that struck terror into the hearts of her enemies. Stories spread like wildfire, whispered among trembling ranks of Shangpai soldiers. For many, their final moments were marked by the sight of a young woman in armor. She looks so badass, though, in this art. Amazing, amazing art. Her fiery red hair swayed in the wind that carried the foul scent of burned flesh and cannon smoke. Oh, she's a warrior? If only I was a Chinese. She's Vietnamese! This is... Okay. I gotta mention. Okay. I think this is the 18th century feudal Vietnam. 1845, maybe. I'm just mouthing numbers. But back in the day... But yes, she's from Vietnam. Her delicate, maiden-like features were smeared with the blood of her enemies, yet she seemed unaffected by it. Oh, by the way, did I mention Ulu? She has a harem of consorts that are all guys. She has a harem. Let me repeat that. She has a harem of hot guys. Empress Li Fan. She has a harem of hot guys. Okay? Let me just mention that. This woman. Yep. Instead, her eyes burned with unrelenting intensity, and her lips curled into a twisted smile as her sword swung mercilessly through the air. A harem? Damn, never mind, right? How do I get into that harem? To those who dare look into her eye, it was clear. She wasn't just fighting. She was also enjoying it. She's a sadist. But of course, those soon-to-be dead soldiers were too focused on the enjoyment in her eyes and smile to notice the other details. The scar on the side of her neck from an arrow she took 2 years ago. The missing nail from her right thumb from the slash of a sword, and the dirty, matted tail of her hair, unwashed for a month after fighting in endless battle. Battlefields are brutal on a man's body, let alone a princess like her. Yet for the past 3 years, she had not uttered a single complaint. There was a blurred line between what had truly kept her going all this time. Was it the thrill of battle and bloodshed? Or the vision of what she would gain if she conquered Shanghai? She couldn't tell. Let's raise this cup for the General, Her Highness, Princess Li Fam. Without your leadership, our army wouldn't have achieved such victories. Luna, is it happening? What is happening? Oh my god, Luna. It's happening. Happening, Luna. It's happening. Also, let me give you a little shout out. Give me a second. Hold on. Is it time for me to go to Hanyoji again? What? No. You're fine. Look, it's time because we finished this game a long time ago. A long time ago, as in a couple months ago. And there finally is a new free DLC of the Empress's POV. And it just dropped, bro. This new DLC just dropped and we had to get our hands on it. And right now, we're on it. Our hands are on it. The POV of Empress Li Fam. We're here. Danke, but a lot is happening. My arms are currently... No worries. No worries, Luna. You take care of yourself. I will still give out shoutouts because regardless, you are a streamer. It doesn't matter if, you know, you are not streaming now. It's okay. I'm still shouting you out because you matter in my stream. Right? Oh, Yaki! Thank you so much for the stretch and hydrate. Thank you. Echo. You back. My mija. Cannibalism. Hold on a second. What? Hold on. We ain't getting that far. We ain't getting that far. Also, let me give a shout out to Yaki too. A second. We have Yaki, my mod here. There's Yaki. Yeah. Hi, Miha. We're back with an extra DLC of a strong, independent woman. Okay, yeah, y'all always say China, but this is based off of Vietnam, okay? It's a Vietnamese game. It's an 18th century feudal Vietnam. Let's calm down, guys. Did you say strong, independent woman? I'm sold. Yep, she's a little bit freaky, but some do like her, I guess. Not to mention she has a harem. So, yeah, ancient feudal. Yeah, exactly, Luna. This is a very unique visual novel game, and I have it pinned right there if you want to check out the game right now in their Steam. Also, it's 50% off, so go grab it while it's 50% off, because I'm just saying. Have we met before? Echo, you know, Luna. They weren't ruled by 15th century. No, I think they're its own little thing now. It's heavily inspired by, so it's not like accurate historical thing, but it's heavily inspired by. Yeah. Got it, Miha. Lamau. Alright. So this is her POV. Independent woman. Independent strong woman, Empress Li Fam POV. The soldiers erupted into cheers, their voices loud and jubilant, echoing into the dark desert night. Maybe for you, your enthusiasm for VN reminds me of my own love for RPGs. Yeah! You do love your RPGs, that's right. I love my visual novels, alright. Especially this one. You already know, we're a big fan of this one. The feast was in full swing, the glow of the campfire illuminating their flushed faces and glinting off their armor. Stares into the camera. To them, victory against Shanghai was already written in the stars. Tomorrow, they would invade the capital, and with the overwhelming strength of Daviet's forces, success felt inevitable. It's fictional? The Vietnamese don't have strong warrior women with harems? No reason. Well, you know what? Why don't you look it up real quick? Why don't you do a little Google search? You know what I'm saying? Hey Gore, welcome in. Long time no see. Do a little. Hopefully the shout out thing has finished the. Let's see if it works. Yeah, there we go. All hail the princess. Princess Leafham tilted her head back, a smirking curling on her lips as she downed her wine all at once. She's a warrior, that's what she is. She's amazing. Tonight is the first time in a long while she has felt this relaxed. She even had time to change into a more presentable outfit instead of her usual battle attire. She let the warmth of the drink seep into her chest, mingling with the heat of the flames and the rankus energy of the celebration. You gonna eat yourself into Genshin? Okay, have fun. Have fun, Miha. Stay safe. In her mind, she was fantasizing about the day she would march into her father's throne room, bringing news of the triumph. A triumph she had orchestrated. The thought of seeing him acknowledge her, even nodding with approval, sent a thrill through her. She just wants to get her father's approval, bruh. Like... Although she would never admit it, the idea of being handed the throne, being told she was worthy of it, felt more exhilarating than simply taking it for herself. She stood, raising her cup, preparing to give a rallying speech to her generals to push their morale even higher. But before a word could leave her lips, a soldier rushed in from the edge of the camp, panting heavily. Damn daddy issues in the 18th century. It's a very complicated time, right? There's a lot of people that don't understand the concept of equality back then, unfortunately. Your Highness, official Tang has arrived all the way from the capital. He says he has something important. The last words barely left the soldier's mouth before Tang stormed into the camp. Okay. This guy is also hot, so he's also the fiancé of the Empress. His name is Tang. He's really hot. He's also a lot of people's favorites, just saying. His eyes were sharp and unyielding to say something quick. It was clear that he had ridden hard, 2 days straight from the desert, but none of that dulled the intensity of his expression. Is he like the main man in her harem? Not really, because you actually have one main quote-unquote love interest. The other ones are like they're also love interests, but like on the side, but you don't really, technically you don't get to choose. But if you read the summary, it tells you exactly. But the main guy he has purple hair. You'll see him if he's here. I don't know if he's gonna show up in this POV, but we'll see. Your Highness, may I have a private moment with you? This man is a side hoe? Damn, the main guy must be something. Let me tell you. The main guy is something. And he is quite an interesting character.
Welcome, Raiders.
He is quite... Oh my god, Peanut! Welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. Let me give you a shout out. Hello there. Happy Wednesday. Hold on. Let me give Peanut a shout out. Thank you. Welcome in, Peanut. Hope you had a wonderful time on stream. And if you haven't, remember to hydrate and stretch and eat and take care of yourself because you deserve it. Good job on your stream. And you could feel free to stay as long as you like. And we're just chilling. We're playing a visual novel today. And we're excited. We're super duper excited. And I hope you had tons of fun on stream. welcome in. He's got purple hair. Yes, Sasquatch knows. You'll see. Yeah, we're about to see a lot of hot guys. Hopefully, he's one of them. Welcome to my stream. If this is your first impression of me, hello. Yeah, we love ultimate games and visual novels, don't we? Yeah, we love to talk about hot guys in here. Let me make that clear. Hot 2D guys, okay? Princess Leafham turned lazily towards him, casting a glance over her shoulder. She waved dismissively, a playful edge to her tone. She's like, you ruined my moment because I was about to give a speech. You literally just ruined my moment. 2D Husbandos, you already know, Peanut. You already know. Ah, Tang. Don't you see we're celebrating? You've come just in time. Join us. I said I need a private moment with you. The soldiers nearest to him fell silent, their laughter and chatter dying down as they instinctively stepped back. Princess Li Fam's smirk faltered, her posture straightening slightly as her gaze met his. She sighed as she set her cup down. She's like, this was my moment. I literally can't get my moment. Everyone out. I need the camp to talk to Tang. The soldiers exchanged uneasy glances, but obeyed without question, quickly gathering their cups and plates before retreating into the night. Great, party's over. Party pooper. Soon the camp was silent, save for the crackling of the fire. Tang remained where he stood, his figure framed by the flickering flames. So, did my beloved fiancé miss me so much that he had to come all this way here to interrupt my party? Normally, such comments would have turned his cheeks red, but tonight they seemed to bounce off him entirely. I've read your last update letters about your plan for tomorrow, and I'm here to stop you. The princess raised an eyebrow, her smirk fading. Ah, about that. Killing is unavoidable in a war, Tang. I've killed thousands already. What difference would it make if I killed 2 more? Her words were calm, almost casual. It hurts me that you had to bear the burden of killing Lele, he replied, his voice softening for a moment. But this is the Shanghai king and queen we're talking about. Don't you think it would cause trouble among the court and the commoners? She had heard this sentiment before. It was something Tang had expressed to her countless times. Boundary, welcome in. Hello, really nice to see you. Hello, happy Wednesday. As you can see, Boundary, we're back. We're back into this game because there's new content. His pain at seeing her take lives for the so-called better good. He always viewed her actions as burdens she bore reluctantly, never realizing it was her will, her choice. Of course, who would imagine that a young maiden, someone he had idolized since their childhood, might also enjoy it? It will cause trouble, she admitted with a shrug. But fear is also a strategy. This is the perfect way to show Daviet's strength and to act as a warning for other nation that dares to cross us. There is a place for showing dominance. He stepped closer. Ooh! Are you gonna show dominance? That was Don't you think this is too much? If you go through with this, what happens to anyone in the court or even among the commoners who harbors thoughts of rebellion? They'll see this not as a strength, but as tyranny. For the first time that evening, the princess felt bothered. She was well aware of the risks her actions could pose, the ripple effects among the people, the potential for unrest. However, even though she knew Tang did everything based on his moral principles and righteousness, she hadn't expected him, the person who always said yes to her, to oppose her so directly. You've always supported my decisions. Why is this any different? Because I care about you, Lele. I care about what happens to this nation, to you, and to your legacy. I don't want history to remember you as a tyrant. His words seemed to strike her by surprise. She studied the sincerity in his eyes for a brief moment, and a smirk curled back onto her lips. It was fitting to call her what she truly was, and not a hint of fear or hesitation flickered in her veins at the prospect of being addressed by that title. In her mind, the only prize worth winning was that promised victory when she faced her father in the throne room of Daviet when she came back with a victory. History is written by the victor's tongue, and I intend to win. But, she sweetened her voice, don't you worry. She reached out, her hand gently brushing against his face. Startled by her touch, his eyes widened, and a deep shade of crimson quickly spread across his cheeks. This man is a simp. This man is a simp, okay? Done and through. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, wait. Peanut says, I must head to bed. Oh, you have a great night. Thank you for the... Can you blame him? It's like, can you blame him for being a simp? Like, no, I can't blame him. He loves her ever since he was a kid. He's like, I gotta question you, and I'm gonna be your fiance, and I will protect you, and I will love you, unconditionally. No matter what you do, I will love you. Yep, literally him. You need to trust me, Tongue. Let me wrap up this war by my own methods, so that I could quickly come home and marry you. Her sweet words rendered him speechless. She had learned that when it came to Tongue, any romantic advances from her would be able to sway him. Ah, fucking simp! We know this. Alright, I trust you, Lele. He says, okay. Man's folded so fucking fast. He's like, don't do this, you'll be a tyrant. Like, don't do this, like, it will affect the future, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then she goes on with, like, you know, like, don't you worry about a thing, baby girl. I'll take care of you. I'll make sure that, you know, I know what to do. Like, I got you. And then, like, you know, I'll marry you. Don't you worry about a single thing. The guy's, like, folded hella quick. Damn. Her cherry red lips curled into a smile. She's so evil. she's like so evil. After sending Tongue home, reassuring him that everything she did was for the greater of the good of the nation, the princess retreated to her tent. That night, her dreams were painted in vivid hues, the crimson red of the battlefield, the searing warmth of the campfire, and the icy touch of the golden throne. The acknowledgement on her father's face when she came back. These things brought her a deep sense of comfort. The world was hers to claim, and she was here to do just that. Damn. And the princess was right. History is written by the victors. As her army marched back to Daviet, its citizens lined the roads despite the unseasonably cold weather, eager to welcome the victorious princess. Songs of her triumphs echoed through the crowd, and cheers erupted with every step her horse took. Hey, it's Bucket Water! Hey Bucket, how you doing? Let me give you a shout out real quick. How you doing? We're back with some more Who Murdered My Empress new POV. That's free. Oh ho ho ho. Baga's been here, so he's seen the stuff I play for this game. Yeah, hell yeah. Welcome in, Baga. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. It's a nice Wednesday/Thursday. Yeah. Hope you had a good day so far. We're actually... The new content is Empress La Femme's POV, so the actual Empress's POV. So this is quite interesting. We can see like a little bit of her childhood, and then, you know, like how she made her way into reign. I overslept. It's good so far. You know what? Sleeping is great. Sleeping is great. Oversleeping is great too. You know, get that rest. Get that rest, Becca. I'm glad you got some good rest. Yet, as she had anticipated, not all voices were jubilant. Scattered among the celebration were shouts branding her a tyrant, accompanied by a few who spat disdainfully onto the road. Off with his head! Right now! Cheers. Adoration. Hatred. None of it mattered to her. She hadn't fought for the applause of the crowd, nor for their approval. Her mind looked forward to one place and one palace only, the golden throne room where her father awaiting. Her heart beat faster just thinking about it. And then, as her horse's hooves arrived at the main gate of the palace, a cry rang out from her soldiers. It's snowing, Your Highness! Cheers erupted as the soldiers looked up in wonder at the rare and almost mythical phenomenon in Daviet's humid lands. The men rallied in celebration, their spirits high as the gentle flakes fell from the sky. Li Fam, however, stayed silent on her horse, She tilted her head upward, letting the snowflakes melt against her skin and her emerald green attire. For a moment, she felt small. The enormity of the world and the years of torment trying to find out what was wrong with her that she had endured all seemed to dissolve into the falling snow. So it can really snow in Daviet after all. However, the moment she set foot in the palace was nothing like she had fantasized. Awaiting her in the throne room were Tang and the officials. Her father was nowhere to be seen. Congratulations on your return, Your Highness. Apologies for interrupting your homecoming, but there is something that requires your immediate attention. Again, Tang, look, we talked about this already, okay? First you came into my tent, canceled my whole ass party that I threw, for the victory of the war. And then now when I come back to, claim the throne, you're like, hey, Your Highness, I'm back with stuff to talk about. Can we talk about it? He's again, he's always there for the most worst possible timings. The Emperor is not in the best physical condition. You must go see him at once. Understood. The walk to her father's chamber felt more grueling than the 10,000 kilometers she had marched in battle. As she stepped into his chamber, she suddenly felt like she was 6 years old again, frightened of a thunderstorm. She remembered bursting into his room back then, only for him to chase her away, making it clear he never wanted to see her outside of ceremonies. Father, I've come to see you. The Emperor lay motionless on the bed, his yellow robe a stark contrast to the pale, hollow cheeks that illness has carved into his once proud face. The sickness has taken a hold of him, leaving even the royal doctors helpless to cure it. Though his eyes were open, a glossy, vacant glaze masks their focus, making the princess unsure if he even recognized her. Slowly, he turned his head toward her, only to shift his gaze back to the ceiling. His breaths shallow and uneven. He remained silent. Princess Li Fam swallowed hard, forcing herself to kneel gently by his bedside. Her armor clinked softly as she settled beside him. Father, I've won the war as you commanded. Shangpai has fallen, just as you envisioned. Diep Tang? His voice, barely above a whisper, cut through her words. It was soft, trailing off as though he were calling to someone in a dream. Li Fam froze. Diep Tang, her mother, it was a name she had never heard him utter before, and it was a name that felt distant to her. The princess has always been forbidden to visit her mother's grave or pray for her. Is it Diep Tang? Tang? He called the name again, his eyes staring past her, gazing into some unseen distance. Oh, thank you for the stretch, weeping. And thank you. Oh, and hydrate, thank you. Doing pretty good in time-wise. No, it's me, Li Fam, your daughter. At her words, the Emperor suddenly turned his head toward her. He stared at her, though she were some sort of monster. You're not my daughter, he roared suddenly, his frail body convulsing as he sat up, his yellow robes falling like wilted petals around his trembling frame. You're a curse. She wouldn't have died if it weren't for you. She recoiled as if physically struck, her breath catching painfully in her throat. She was no stranger to her father's reprimands, but this was different. Seeing him in this state, his frailty laid bare, his mind unraveling, and yet his eyes, filled with a sincerity she couldn't ignore, sent a jolt of panic through her. I've only ever done what you asked of me. I fought for our kingdom, for you. Liar. He clutched at his chest, his breath coming in shallow gasps. Man is still holding grudges on his deathbed. He is a true hater. Unfortunately, I'm guessing he blamed his daughter for his wife's passing. It's unfortunately like a common thing to feel, you know, back then. Technology is not as advanced, so childbirth is very dangerous for a woman sometimes, you know. So unfortunately, there are cases where this happens, you know. You made her suffer. You killed her. Every time I look up at you, I see her dying in my arms. The room felt unbearably small, suffocating under the weight of his words. The princess took pleasure in the suffering of others, but only when she was the one inflicting it of her own will. Now, however, as her father called her out for a crime she hadn't intended to commit, it pained her, made her feel weak, and she hated it. Father, I never meant... His hand flew to his chest and he let out a strangled cry of pain. His body lurched, collapsing back onto the bed like a puppet with the strings severed. His eyes fluttered open one last time, the wildness replacing by a haunting emptiness. Monster. With his final word, his body stilled, and the silence in the room became too much to bear. The princess just stood there in silence, her ears nearly deafened by the overwhelming static ringing in her head. Then, her gaze shifted to the window, where she noticed the snow had stopped, and the yellow shade of the apricot blossoms shone on the courtyard. She looked back at her father's lifeless body, and the static ringing noise slowly withdrew, leaving her mind with a cold, crisp realization. Damn, that's so brutal. Just say that shit to your own daughter. But, you know, back in the day, like, in such a... Like, he's the emperor, right? And unfortunately, he sees... Like, emperors sees their offspring as tools, right? And it just sucks for her to have to deal with that. Yeah. It was time she let go of her foolish, childish desire to understand love. She no longer needed to know what it was, because it no longer mattered. It no longer mattered. That's such a sad thing to have to see her think that way, you know. Congratulations on your coronation, Your Majesty. The officials raised their wine cups high, the golden liquid glinting in the banquet hall's warm light. Sitting on a throne, her leg crossed and her posture relaxed, Empress Li Fam lifted her cup in response, her expression cheerful and poised. Where's his eyes, Tess? Don't worry, he's not that important to have eyes. He's just a side character. Welcome in. Let me give you a shout out. Nice to see you, Tess. Faces are expensive, yeah. Gotta choose the eyes color, the nose, the mouth. That's a lot going on. Hey, Tess. No need. No, we have to. Guys, go check out Tess, man. Check him out. It's a very, very tense situation for her, and a little bit awkward for us, I guess. Yet her wary eyes darted across the room, quietly assessing the crowd. Politics were so fickle. How many of these people were snakes waiting to strike the moment she let her guard down? Her calculating gaze never wavered, even as her lips curved into a gracious smile. Thank you, everyone. I wouldn't have had this day without your support. And congratulations on your marriage, official Tang. The attention shifted to Tang, who sat among the honored guests. Today was not only the day of the fam's coronation, but also their wedding day, a day the palace had long whispered about, and a day everyone knew Tang had awaited for years. Unlike his usual composed and assertive demeanor in court, Tang was uncharacteristically quiet. His hands fidgeted nervously with the edges of his wide ceremonial sleeves, and he stammered awkwardly whenever Empress Li Fam addressed him directly. The festive atmosphere swirled around him, Young guests, members of the royal family, and officials stopped by to offer their congratulations. Some teased him with sly remarks about the upcoming wedding night, to which he could only respond with a furious blush. Meanwhile, as he stole fleeting glances at his newly wedded wife, the woman he had loved since childhood, he couldn't help but marvel at how calm she seemed. Empress Li Fam, as radiant and commanding as ever, sat gracefully at the head of the banquet, conversing and laughing with the guests as though this day held no more significance than any other. How can she stay so calm? Tung wondered. His thoughts tangled as he nervously sipped his wine. His heart raced every time she turned her head, every time her laugh floated through the room. She was right there, yet she felt unreachable, like the stars in the sky. After the banquet ended, Tung was escorted by the maids to Empress Li Fam's chamber. Would you like us to wait here with you until the Empress arrives? No, it's alright. You can leave. Now alone, Tung sat nervously on the edge of the bed, his hands fidgeting against his lap. He is her biggest simp, okay? Let's just put that out there. He is her biggest simp. His mind raced wildly. He had dreamed of this moment for years, prepared for it, imagined it countless times. But now it was here. He felt entirely unready. What if I'm too nervous? What if I don't meet her expectations? What if she's displeased? What if she hates me? The thoughts spiraled endlessly, so much that he lost track of time. It wasn't until he glanced at the window and noticed the moonlight glowing faint that his heart sank. She should have been here by now. And he waited. But by the time the moon vanished completely, swallowed by the light of dawn, a cold realization settled over him. His new wife, his lifelong love, might not share his feelings. The thought burned embarrassment and hurt flooding his chest. But he forced himself to remain calm. I can't lose my temper. Not with her. Determined to understand, Tung left the chamber and rushed to find the Empress. The maids had mentioned she was still in the study, and sure enough, he found her there. Empress Li Fam sat at her desk, engrossed in scrolls and documents. Her fiery red hair glowed faintly in the early morning light. She didn't even look up when he entered. Why are you up so early? Her tone was casual, as if they hadn't just skipped their wedding night. Shouldn't I be asking you the same thing? Why didn't you come to your chamber last night? Oh, that. Sorry, I got caught up with court affairs. Her nonchalant reply only made his frustration grow. His hands curled into fists at his sides as he struggled to maintain his composure. Look, dude. She is now an empress. Unfortunately, she has responsibilities that are way, way higher than her, than what she expected, I'm sure. Like, she has a lot of things to pick up, And of course, you being the biggest simp for her, of course you'll be frustrated. I get it, it's your wedding night, but it was also her coronation day. And unfortunately, she couldn't be with you. And you're just throwing a small tantrum. Like, just chill, man. You're simping for her a little too hard. Like, don't worry. Y'all gonna marry? Like, he is heartbroken. He's like, oh my god, like, does she not love me anymore? She said she wanted to, like, marry me at, like, the campsite. I, like, busted her party just to tell her. Oh my god, is that V? Hello? Is that little sneak queen? Tongue needs to chill for real. Everybody, if you didn't know, little sneak queen, she is V, and she is the dev for this game. If you guys didn't know, go check her out. Like, she's awesome. Let me actually put your Twitter. Give me a second. I need to link your Twitter. All right, everybody, give her some support. Check her out. No, we love you. We love you. We love you so much, V. You are amazing. I am so happy that you came out with this new content. Do you know how long we've been waiting for this? Just to see more content's gonna come soon. I cannot wait. I cannot. Your outfit? Hello? Yeah, you like my outfit? Yeah, it's my chibi outfit from one of my covers. The dragon on my outfit. Isn't it cool? Everybody go check out V. She is amazing. She also has a team of amazing people. And she's also like a part of many other visual novel games that she's currently working on. So definitely give her a follow if you'd like to check out more of the games that are coming soon, because I kid you not, we are a big fan, and we don't just say this, but we say this every single time. We love you, V. We love you so much. And I don't know if we're halfway through the POV of Empress Le Femme right now, but like we're going there. We have already played like an hour and almost an hour and a half of content so far. And I don't know how long this POVs is gonna be, but I'm loving it so far. Like, she is just a cold-hearted like ruler, and it's just so sad because like you can see her stuff, like you can see her environment when she was young, and she's forced to think a certain way, and she's always being compared, and always, you know, like she cannot get parental love. Like her mother passed away early, and then her father never seen her as like actually her, like his own daughter, and he never loved her that way. It's kind of messed up, but it's like, unfortunately, I think back in the day they don't really see daughters as more important, unfortunately. Back in the day. If you like sad, historical, tragic boys, check out games out. Exactly, everyone! Get your tissues ready, because you're gonna cry. You're gonna cry. It's such a good game. Such good games. I also saw that you also announced that there's another new game besides the Capybara Cafe. Hello? I literally just saw it on Blue Sky as I was like trying to put out like a you know, like a little post like I'm streaming. Broken Fate? Hello? Can we V? Broken Fate? That's a new one you're coming out with. Weeping, why? Weeping, what the hell? What the hell? Why now? Oh my god, Toy. There you go, Weeping. It's fresh for you. Don't know why you wanted that. Yandere boy, hope you will stream it. 100% I will stream any game that you have out. I can promise you that, because we freaking love your games. Okay. The Broken Fate, a free yandere sim investigation visual novel, a psychological horror romance visual novel set in ancient Asia. Wake up without your memory in the peaceful yet airy Lotus Pavilion. Besides Han, a man who says he's your husband. Well, can you uncover the truth? Hello, another hot guy. Oh my god, you know what we like. This is exactly oh my god, I'm gonna die. There's so many things coming out, and the Capybara Cafe. I cannot. Oh my god, there's so many coming out. Bless me before the sadness. Oh no, not like this. I'll bless you, but not with that. Jesus. Weeping, please. God. Alright, now we're gonna continue, because this is where the sad moment is. I had to just explain, like, man, Tung is the biggest simp ever. He folded so easily, but then he's also butthurt that she wasn't there on his wedding night. But like, boy, it's not about you. It's about her. This is her day. It's not, unfortunately, it's not about you. She's the Empress. You're the simp side character. I cannot stress enough. Like, he is simping for her so hard that he believes that she would love him as much as he loves her. And now he's butthurt. I don't think he understands her as much as he thinks he does. It's just so sad. Poor Tang cannot get a break. Like, he's just like, I just want my wifey. I just want to be with my wifey. Like, Meanwhile, we got a strong, independent woman doing her thing, you know? Man. Go outside and touch He's always outside. He's always outside touching grass. That's all he does every day. And it's still not enough for him. It's still not enough. He's still simping after all these years. Since when do you care so much about court affairs? I've always sorted through the official complaints for you. I did everything for you so that you don't have to think about a single thing. But he also didn't know about how her father treated her as well. And that is kind of sad. Like, he didn't see that side of her at all. He didn't see the side where her father literally called her a monster and blamed her for her mother's death. Like, go to the waters and touch the sand. He needs more than just sand, I'm telling you that, and water. He touched grass all the way 10,000 kilometers just to fall to her flirtation. Exactly! He busted into her tent, crashed her party when it was her party and her moment, right? And then, like, literally just folded right then and there. Not only did he crash her party, not only it was her moment, he just literally, he folded. He's like, please don't do this. And she's like, oh, sweetie, like, don't you worry about it. We will marry when we get back, okay? Like, I know that you love me very much, and I love you, and then we could get married after this is done, okay? Like, let me do my thing. I know what I'm doing. And he said, okay. He said, okay. Went back. You know, that's it. He folded. Like, he's such a simp. Shrimply, welcome in. Hello, great to see you, Shrimply. Yeah, we're like yelling at him now because he's like, bruh. Like, why are you like this, please? He is so in love with her. He is so simpy for her. Oh my god. I feel so bad for him because she doesn't replicate the same feelings. Okay? Chill, bro. Like, understand that, okay? Let her be. Like, but he loves her ever since he was a kid. Just because of that simple kindness of her literally, like, holding the umbrella over him. And he's, as a kid, she's 6-year-old. And he thinks, oh my god, we're gonna get married. We're gonna get married when we're like, when we get older. And you're gonna be my waifu. And we're gonna live happily ever after. That was his dream as a kid. Let us continue. It's kind of crazy. Didn't you say I needed to try harder to care? I'm just doing whatever you asked me to. Or what you asked me to. Lele, stop changing the topic. Like, okay, like, a girl just wants to be independent, wants to start doing her duties, and now you're trying to dismiss her effort? What? Hello? You probably had a Pinterest board of their wedding since childhood. You know what, V? I can see that. I can see that. He has his, like, vision board. Like, just nailed it on top of his, like, where his bedside is, and he's like, we getting married. Me married with Empress La Femme. Happy family. And then there's, like, you know, horses and, like, peacocks and everything in the park. And then he, like, you know, take collages of, like, little, like, cute babies there and just sticks them there and be like, this will be our family. Happy family. Like, this is exactly, like, how it is gonna be. His vision board, that's it right there. And then he's gonna have, like, a separate section, like, half of the vision board is gonna be like, my beautiful wife, you know. TNL carved into every tree in the palace, for real. And he has a heart around it too. Oh my god. Everyone wondering what that meant when all the trees are carved like this, and they think it's all on purpose. And so, like, whenever they plant a new tree, they would carve it there on purpose because nobody questioned it and they think it's normal. What the frick? So crazy. Oh god. Too good. Too good, V. Too good. He winced, his voice crackling slightly. Do you dislike me so much that you wouldn't even bed me? Okay, Tog, look, it's not about you, okay? That day is not about— it's not about you, man. It's not about you. At last, Empress Li Fam looked up from her work. He thought his bluntness might shock her, perhaps even fluster her. But instead, a faint smile on her lips. A smile that would hurt him years on end. Why do you think that? The smile, the vagueness, it all felt like a deliberate... Bless you! Someone sneezed. His knuckles turned white as he clenched his fists. The T must mean tree. What does L mean? I don't know, man. That's just what they all look like exactly. Fat Squatch, exactly. Anybody know what T and L means? Like, there's that thing carved in every single tree. Does it mean something? Is it like a type of tree that we're supposed to plant there? Or like, what's going on? I don't know. Everybody's doing it, so I might as well do it. Okay. Gardener says okay and just rolls with it. Lele, as your husband, I demand you be honest with me. I thought you and I got along well. Well, I thought... Look. Look, dude. You don't demand a young woman like that. You don't demand an independent woman like that. That's... He crashing out. He stopped himself, his voice trailing off as embarrassment washed over him. Saying his feelings out loud made him feel childish. Would this make her hate me even more? Never mind. I apologize for barging in, Your Majesty. I must have had a sleepless night and acted recklessly. We can continue this conversation another day. He turned to leave. His steps hurried, but before he reached the door, her voice stopped him. I'm sorry. Her tone was calm, almost cold. And when he turned back, the faint smile was gone. Her expression was serene, yet unyielding. A look he would never forget, years from then. I will never spend the night with you, Tang. Oh, no! Oh, she said it! She said it right to him! I would never love you is what she said. Damn! Her words hit like a blow, but she continued without hesitation. Let's keep our relationship platonic. I'll make it up to you in other ways. Her voice was steady, but the meaning behind her words were clear. He didn't need to ask why. Her face, her tone, everything told him the truth. She didn't love him. Logically, he could have objected. He could have pointed out the absurdity of her refusal, how it went against tradition, against what he had hoped for. But as he stood there, he realized there was no point. Any argument would be fruitless, and making a scene would only tarnish the only thing he had left, his pride. I don't know what's happening, but if I were him, I'd walk out the cliff. Surely. He probably would do that, unfortunately. He simps for her so bad, Shrimply. It's not even, like, it's so sad that he's, like, simping for her to this level, but he loves her that much, you know? And they were childhood friends, like, oh, Lord. Also, like, they were engaged as, you know, ever since they were young, super young. Forcing himself to swallow his disappointment, Tang bowed deeply. I understand, Your Majesty. Without another word, he turned and left, quietly closing the door behind him, and thus that day his heart was shattered. The weight of her rejection settled over him like the light of dawn. Like light dawn, cold and heavy. But even as his heart ached, he resolved to protect what little he could. His dignity, and the respect he still held for her decision. Watching her childhood sweetheart, now husband, leave her chamber, Empress Li Femme let out a quiet sigh. Maybe he Romeo and Juliet's it. He himself made this happen. She turned toward the maids who stood waiting by the door. I want to go for a walk. Prepare. Yes, Your Majesty. Her feet carried her along the wooden pier leading to the lotus pond, the crisp morning air brushing against her skin. The soft sound of water lapping at the edges of the pond filled the silence as her thoughts wandered. Before the war, she had spent countless hours in these gardens, strolling along the lotus ponds that circled the palace. Tang would often join her during those moments of quiet. He often said she didn't appreciate the beauty of the scenery enough, and she agreed with him. Maybe he's the murderer. Maybe he's the murderer all along. It was difficult to love literature, art, or nature's beauty when she didn't have a heart, or at least when she felt as though she didn't. Her gaze drifted across the pond, and her eyes caught on a single white lotus standing out among the swaying green leaves. It was pristine, unblemished, almost glowing in the soft morning light. She leaned over the balcony, extending her arm to pluck it. The softness of the lotus petals brushed her fingertips, and she flinched slightly at the delicate sensation. She pulled her hand back, letting the flower remain untouched. Her thoughts drifted to Tang. A sigh escaped her lips. Tang was like that lotus flower, maintaining his beauty and purity even in the midst of the mud. In a palace filled with politics, betrayal, and evil people like herself, his presence was a rare and untainted light. She had always been known for her calculating nature, for her habit of never revealing her true thoughts or feelings unless it served her purpose. She couldn't appreciate the beauty of the flower in the way others might, and she couldn't love Tang in the way he wanted, in the way he deserved. But she realized something. She had no desire to pluck the lotus from the pond. She wanted it to stay there, untouched and untainted. If keeping him safe meant distancing himself, then so be it. If protecting him from her own sins might never share a bed or allowing him too close, she would accept that burden. Even her twisted and cruel mind understood that he was the only person in the palace she respected, the only one who still held onto his purity, deserved better than to be dragged into the darkness of her world. As the Empress turned and walked away from the pond, the white lotus swayed gently in the breeze, left untouched in the murky waters it grew. Oh my god, it's Godzilla! Hello, welcome in! Happy Wednesday!
I'm gonna fire my laser!
Hell yeah!
Choo.
Firing Vanilla's laser is something.
Welcome in, we're playing the game again because we got new content.
Welcome in, Godzilla. No. Okay, scared the hell out of me. I was like, please don't let this be the end yet. I want more. Your Majesty, you have been married to official Tang for years, yet the court has heard that you two have not consummated your marriage. How do you intend to produce an heir to the throne? Yes, Your Majesty, this matter deeply concerns both the court and the commoners. Without an heir, the stability of the empire may be at risk. How have you been doing? I've been doing good. Been working hard at work, and it's been very hot, and I had to deal with the allergies, unfortunately. But we spending good time with each other now, and having a blast, because we're playing one of our favorite games. Thank you for the stretch, Sasquatch. Appreciate it. Thank you. These officials saying shit like that. They just want to pressure her, obviously. I hope you're doing well yourself, Godzilla. I hope you're taking care of yourself and not working too hard. Empress Li Fam sat on the throne, her legs crossed, one elbow resting on the arm of her chair. Her sharp gaze swept over the room, disdain clearly etched across her face. She had thought that winning the war and becoming Empress would grant her ultimate power. It is hot. Yeah, please stay cool, guys. Please stay cool. Like, I'm having a big-ass fan on right now. Yet her time in court has proven her wrong. The old men there were not only competent and traditional, but also especially troublesome, constantly finding new ways to challenge her authority. Under normal circumstances, she would have shut them down immediately, but she had learned the hard way that the violence and forcefulness that worked so well on the battlefield didn't always yield the same results in the court. Oh, Godzilla's working. Oh no. Please take care of yourself. Don't work too hard now, Godzilla. Don't work too hard now. Oh, that's so nice of you to come by even though you're working. Well, thank you for saying hi. You could stay as long as you like. Chill out here. So for now, she chose to humor the officials. If they wanted her to fulfill the role of a traditional ruler, she would give them something to chew on, but on her terms. She straightened slightly on the throne, a coy smile curving her lips as an idea sparked in her mind. You raise valid concerns, esteemed officials. Producing an heir is indeed a duty I must take seriously. If that is what the court desires, then I shall ensure it. Then I shall ensure it is done in due time. Her voice was calm and polite, but her eyes sparkled with mischief. After all, wouldn't it be wise to select not just one consort, but several? Surely, diversifying my options would increase the chances of securing a worthy heir. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the room, the officials clearly unprepared for such an unconventional suggestion. She leaned back in her chair, relishing the sight of their shocked faces. And finally, unsure of how else to respond, the officials all bowed in unison. Long live the wise Empress. We will work tirelessly to find worthy candidates for you. At this point, I don't know if I can work hard at work. Oh no. How many hours left do you have, Godzilla? Soon after, whispers of the infamous Empress spread like wildfire across the nation, from the bustling streets of the capital to the quiet corners of the countryside. People spoke in hushed tones of Empress Lefam's unusual habit of traveling throughout the land, big cities, small towns, even rural villages, to personally recruit young men for her court. She said, I want to personally pick out my harem. Her most curious preference? Slaves from Shanghai, smuggled illegally into Daviet, a direct consequence of her own ruthless conquest of their homeland. Kinda messed up, but about 5? Oh no, it's a 12-hour day. Oh no, oh my god. It's brutal. It's brutal. Oh man, Godzilla. You know what? At least you're almost halfway there. At least you're almost halfway there, man. Like, take all the breaks that you can have. Take full advantage of that, okay? Full advantage of that. I hope time goes by fast for you. I hope it goes by smoothly for you and fast. Nothing worse than looking at the time and being like, God dang it, I have like this much hour left, But you know what? Let's manifest. Let's get that day going, do your thing. You're almost there. You're almost there. Ah, here we are. Here's our guy with the purple hair. Yeah. Today, in the crowded chaos of a slave market, she spotted one such man. His striking purple hair and fair skin immediately caught her attention, making him stand out from the rest. It was clear from his appearance and demeanor that he wasn't someone accustomed to hard labor. Yet what intrigued her most was the odd, almost unsettling sense of familiarity that washed over her when she looked at him. Oh, you're on your second break? Okay. Have a good break, Godzilla. Take it easy now. Unreasonable as it might sound to her, his eyes reminded her of the eyes of the Shanghai queen she herself executed years ago. But she convinced herself that it was just a unique eye color that runs in Shanghai blood. Without hesitation, she selected him to join her growing harem and brought him back to the palace. That evening, she hosted a banquet in his honor. A lavish affair where the new recruit quickly proved himself to be more than just a pretty face. Your Majesty, this humble servant is so grateful that you chose me. This cup of wine is my thanks for taking me from such a lowly life and giving me a chance to serve you.
I had to come by and say hi to my favorite spooters. Aw, thank you, Godzilla. That's so kind of you to do.
You are always welcome. Thank you so much, Godzilla. And it's very nice seeing you as well. Very, very nice. Obsessed. Controlling. Not the choco yandere. No, I'm just taking what is rightfully mine. Yep. Lamau. He poured wine for her with grateful ease, his words flowing as smoothly as the liquor. Your Majesty, I owe my life to you. She sipped her wine and watched him carefully. Her interest piqued. He is flirting like crazy, fluttering his butterfly eyes at her. You know, that's what's going on. Men have flattered her before, showering her with sweet words and promises. It was hardly a novelty to her. But Vu, he was different. There was a natural charm to him, an effortless way he spoke to her that didn't feel overly rehearsed or calculated. He seemed to know just how to toe the line between boldness and respect, between entertaining her and letting her observe. Interesting, she thought to herself. Could it be his nature shaped by years of working in the theater district of Daviet? He knows what he's doing for real. For real, for real. That would explain his quick tongue, his polished demeanor, and the effortless charm that seemed to captivate the room. As she leaned back in her seat, her gaze lingered on him. Vu had not only charmed her, but also the crowd, weaving his words with a kind of finesse that made everyone lean in just a little closer. Was he as genuine as he seemed? She wondered. Or was there something deeper, something hidden behind that pleasant smile? What fascinated her, what thrilled her, was seeing how far she could push someone and how much they could withstand before they broke. Her lips curled into a faint smile as she watches Vu pour another cup of wine. His every movement deliberate, yet smooth. How far will this one go? How much can he take before he cracks? She is a sadist, bruh. Oh my god. Night has descended on the palace, and she watched her new consort Vu undress as oh my god, is this a spicy scene? Okay, mild spoilers. Mild spoilers, everyone. Mild spoilers. Look away. Look away now. If you haven't played the game and you care about what the game is, look away. This is your time to look away. But if you don't mind, we're getting into it. Night has descended on the palace as she watched her new consort Vu undress. As she commanded, she pulled out a whip. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be spicy. It's gonna be spicy from here on out.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Young professor. Don't judge me. He's like, we're here for a good time. Alright, here we go. He routinely flashes us. Yeah, scared me for a second. Oh, I know that it's safe to stream, so it should be fine. Stop it, Vu. Your six-pack. By then, most of the men she has spent the night with would have flinched, said no, or begged for their life. Yet Vu just consented to it without any doubt. The faint trace of surprise in his eyes had totally disappeared, replaced by a lustful glint that gave her the signal that she could really push it. Okay. Alright, cool. How interesting, indeed. The night carry on, and eventually come to an end, leaving the Empress with a rare feeling of refreshment, almost rejuvenation. This man, though seemingly delicate, was exactly what she thought she deserved. I am the Heaven's Emperor's daughter, after all. In the past, killing had been the pinnacle of power for her, the ultimate demonstration of control. How intoxicating it is to decide who lives and who dies with a single stroke of her blade. But now, as she reflected on the night, she realized there was something perhaps even more pleasurable than taking a life. Owning one. Having someone utterly devoted to her twisted whims, someone who would submit without question and pledge their undying loyalty to her, gave her a sense of fulfillment that even war hadn't. Actually, now that I think about it, I feel like Tang would be okay with that. I feel like if she tells Tang, like, you're simping for me, right? You love me, right? And you would do this for me? And then he would still do it. And he would still be loyal to her. But she doesn't want to taint him. She's like, I want to keep this one pure. This flower we don't touch. Vu with his charm and... Again, Vu, stop flashing us. But he kept doing it. His routine flashing. With his charm and pliability seemed to be the perfect candidate. A pathetic object for her to mold. A vassal for her anger. A vassal? A vessel. Oops. Her boredom. Her cruelty. Poor Vu, though, having to deal with her, Jesus. A place for her to lash out whenever she wanted, without fear or of retribution. As the thought settled, her smirk widened. Power wasn't just about taking. It was about control. And this newfound pleasure in bending someone completely to her felt like the truest power she had ever known. Oh my god. Vu. I feel so sorry for that guy. The Empress slammed the courtroom door shut. Her soft phoenix slippers pounded against the hallway floor as she strode away, each step leaving heavy thuds that echoed through the palace. Such insolence! She muttered under her breath, her palm pressed against her chest as she felt the weight of her rapid breathing. Never before had she been this furious. Not when her father forbade her from leaving the palace, nor when her army suffered defeat in battle. Just an hour earlier, she had been locked in a heated debate with the officials in the throne room. She had demanded that the palace staff replace the dragon emblem in the throne room with the phoenix. The dragon, a traditional symbol for male rulers, did not represent her. She was a woman, a sovereign in her own right. And the phoenix, a symbol of the Empress, was what she believed should represent her reign. Yet every last one of those old men had rejected her request, hiding behind the excuse of upholding the nation's traditions, but she knew better. It was nothing more than their attempt to undermine her authority. She stopped in front of her chamber, leaning against the door for support. A searing heat burned within her, so intense that she wanted to scream. Since ascending to the throne, she had believed herself to be heaven's chosen, a ruler with a divine right to decide life and death, commanding the respect or at least the fear of everyone in the court. Yet, reality had proven otherwise. The officials were like snakes coiled at the entrance of a cave, waiting to exploit her weaknesses and seize any opportunity to challenge her power. Even those who outwardly supported her could not be trusted. Still breathing heavily, she failed to notice the approaching footsteps until a voice broke the silence. Your Majesty. You. What do you want? She cast a bored glance at her childhood friend, now the royal priest, before looking away. I overheard what happened with the Phoenix design. I'm sorry those men couldn't see your vision. She clicked her tongue, still refusing to meet his gaze. There's no use in you saying that, is there?
Oh my god, it's sexy. Streamer, why are you stuck? Why are you cute? Viewer, why are you cute? Like, oh my god, you're so adorable there. Like, this is such an honor for you to come through. Hello, sexy. How you doing?
Yeah, we're back. We're back with another Who Murdered My Empress. How's been the game? Yo, this new content, it's fire. New content that's free, DLC, fire. We're going through it right now. Empress Lifam's like POV right now. Doing good? That's great. I'm so glad to hear that. Hope you're having a good day so far. We're going through it right now. It's kind of cray-cray. Going through it. The priest's eyes flickered with a hint of sadness as he glanced at the floor. Though he was accustomed to her cold demeanor, it still stung. Yet he had vowed to serve her faithfully, no matter what. He's just another simp, isn't he? He hoped his next words would prove his worth. Your Majesty, what if there was a way for you to reach a place where you truly belong? He leaned in closer, whispering into her ear. This sounds like a fantasy. Are you certain it's possible? Absolutely, Your Majesty. The Empress studied him with a long, piercing stare, her mind racing. If everything in her life was wrong, there were 3 things she knew to be right. First, Prince Wui had been fiercely loyal ever since she saved him from her brother's cruelty years ago. Second, he was a capable priest who never spoke without certainty. And third, his offer was more tempting than ever, especially as her grip on power grew increasingly precarious. Suppose all of that is true. What do you want from me? All I want is to prove my loyalty to you. He held her gaze, his expression filled with the same admiration she had grown to disdain in other men. Yet this time, she allowed herself to feign a faint smile. Men simping for them royal recipes, for real. And then there's him. There's Bui. Bui is like, I'm just your loyal dog. Tell me whatever you want to do, and I'll do it to prove my loyalty. Tell me what you want, and I'll give it to you. Is what he's like, that type of character. Give me one moment. I drank a lot of liquid, so I shall be BRB. Restroom time. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Ad break ends just in time. Just a few seconds. Hell yeah. The soft clink of the jade-handled brush against the porcelain palette was the only sound in the Empress's chamber. Empress Lefam sat before a gilded mirror. She dipped the brush into a rich crimson pigment and carefully traced her lips, her movements deliberate and precise, though her thoughts were anything but calm. Months has passed, and while she still indulged in her nightly endeavors with Vu and the other concubines, the hollow enjoyment of their company had grown stale. Her discontent with the palace and its endless politics deepened each day. The old, incompetent officials were the worst, prattling on about tradition and propriety. Every encounter with them felt like a test of her sanity, and she could feel herself itching closer to the edge. She paused, her eyes meeting her reflection in the mirror. The face, staring back at her, was as striking as ever. Porcelain skin, fiery red hair cascading down her shoulders, and lips painted the color of freshly spilled blood. She was still beautiful, still regal, but as her gaze lingered, shadows seemed to gather at the edges of her face, a dullness that no amount of rouge or powder could conceal. But she wouldn't remain trapped here much longer. Priest Bui's dark ritual was nearing completion, and with it, her escape from this world. Part of the ritual required sacrifices. Children trafficked into the palace under the cover of night. The thought made her stomach twist slightly as she forced the feeling aside. She knew herself that is wrong. But she was, of course, selfish enough to do that, right? Unfortunately. She had instructed Bui to ensure she never saw the children, never heard their cries. Not because of compassion, no. She wasn't so naive as to pretend she cared for them. It wasn't guilt that drove her to avoid them, but something harder to confront. Her fingers hesitated over the brush as she stared at her reflection again. The shadows in the mirror seemed to deepen, flickering at the edges of her vision. The children reminded her of herself when she was young, a time when she had been far more naive and powerless. She despised that part of herself, the fragile and confused version of her that once existed, the girl who had been desperate for answers about what was wrong with her. Her jaw tightened, and she set the brush down with a soft clink. She smoothed her robes, the phoenix embroidered on the fabric glinting faintly in the candlelight. Soon, the ritual would be complete. Soon, she would break free of the palace, its traditions, and the people who sought to control her. Her sins might pile higher, the weight of her actions might grow heavier, but it didn't matter. Her eyes flicked back to the mirror one last time. The face that stared back was hers, but the corruption lurking beneath it was undeniable. And yet, she smiled. A smile that was beautiful, cold, and utterly unrepentant. No matter how dark the road, she knew that it was hers to walk, and that, as always, she needed to take more from the world. At last, the day had come. Empress Lifam was not a superstitious person. To her, there was no god above her, no divine force guiding the universe. Yet, as dawn broke and the pale light seeped through the palace windows, she found herself lighting incense sticks and kneeling before the altar to pray. She hated to admit it, but a nervous energy coursed through her veins. The consequences of failure loomed in her mind, far greater than any political defeat or battle lost. Failure in this ritual wouldn't mean staying trapped in this gilded prison of a palace. It would mean death. Dark magic was not forgiving to those who meddled with it, and even with Priest Bui's guidance, she understood the precarious balance they were trying to tip in their favor. The smoke from the incense curled into the air, twisting like serpents, as if mocking her unease. Her fingers tightened into fists against the wooden floor, and for a fleeting moment, doubt crept into her thoughts. But she crushed it just as quickly as it arose. This wasn't the time for doubt. Priest Bui had explained everything to her in excruciating detail. If the ritual succeeded, she would leave this wretched era behind and awaken in the year 2045 as a woman named Mai. Mai, in turn, would take her place here as the Empress. The magic would tether them, swapping their lives like threads on a loom. So this is interesting. I didn't know about this. So I'm guessing they kind of played with the future, knowing that 2045 is when a woman named Mai will be born. Or a little girl named Mai will be born. They are totally playing with this type of dark magic that would change the future, which is kind of crazy to think about. But the spell came with rules. The first was that magic, much like in this world, was unknown in Mai's world. The future was a place where logic and reason reigned, and she would need to hide her true nature and her origins. Whatever she decided to do in that world will be entirely up to her. I'm so curious what happened when Empress Li Fam switched places. Like, what happened after, right? Because we know what Mai went through, but I want to know what Empress Li Fam went through. And more like 24-year-old police officer, yeah. The second rule was more ominous. For the spell to solidify, Mai would have to survive as the Empress for 220 days. If Mai died before then, the tether would snap, and the ritual would unravel, dragging Li Fam to her death in the process. So there is a big risk, basically. You play with fire, the wildfire would just take its course, right? Like, you just don't know. The ritual chamber was dimly lit, the flickering candlelight casting long, dancing shadows across the stone walls. Priest Vui stood in the center of the room, his hands clasped together in anticipation. The air was thick with the scent of burning herbs and something metallic, children's blood. The bowl on the altar glowed faintly, its surface shimmering unnaturally. As Empress Li Fam entered, her steps were deliberate, and her gaze was as sharp as ever. Priest Bui had been waiting for her. Your Majesty, everything is prepared. The time has come to sever this life and step into your new destiny. She nodded curtly, approaching the altar. Did you prepare what I asked for? Your most valued object? Yes, I have. Good. Remember to hold on to it tight during the transition. It will anchor yourself in a new world. And one more thing before you go. His voice slightly trailed off, his eyes fixed on her. This might be the last time I see you, Your Majesty. I just hope you won't forget me, and that you will always have my complete loyalty and my love. Okay, this guy is a little crazy, right? He's not only a simp, but he's a little cray-cray, okay? He's a little cray-cray. It took him a moment of hesitation to finish the sentence, even though it was obvious that he desperately loved her, having traded his life to embrace black magic for her desire, and despite knowing she was incapable of loving him back. A very small part of him still secretly wished that if he had the courage to declare his love out loud just once, she would feel something for him, being moved by all the things he had done for her. Unfazed by his confession, she gazed at him in silence. To him, it was the same look she gave everyone, deceptively calm and polite, just enough to appease people and obscure her true intentions. Yet that look alone was enough to confirm what he hadn't always known, but had been too afraid to face. She didn't love him. To her, however, it was merely a way to mask her wariness towards men and their advances. Obvious girl is oblivious. Oblivious girl. She just doesn't care. Like, men is not even in her agenda. She's just a strong, independent woman that just wants power. Like, truly, just power. Like, it's kind of crazy. Like, one thing I really like about her character, I know a lot of, like, villain characters have to have, like, you know, a backstory of, like, how they became this way, and sometimes, like, society made them do this and do that, and, the thing is, there isn't a single point of doubt that she felt, or guilt that she felt, whenever she does something bad, whatever, like, it's deemed bad or deemed evil. She is set on one thing and one thing only, and that is power. She does not care about anything else. At this point, like, she really wanted her father's, recognition, of course. That's, like, her main thing ever since she was a kid. But it came to a certain point where she severed that feeling and just was like, I'm gonna have whatever I want now, and this is how the world is going to accept me, because this is what I want. And the things that she did, questionable, yes, and evil, yes, but her determination and her selfishness is so evil that such a character. She's such a character, right? Because like a lot of times when you write a villain, right, there are some parts in the villain's side where suddenly they feel a little bit of guilt, you know, like suddenly, like, oh, like, I'm not like this because, you know, like, I suddenly feel this way because I was once like this, but now I feel a little guilt. Am I more human? Like, no, she's straight up an evil empress, and this is what she's gonna do, and if this gives her power to do so, she will fucking do it. You know, I kind of like that type of villain. Like, she would just go at it. She just go at it. Don't care what the consequences is, what the reprimands are. Like, I'm just gonna do it. You know? What would happen if a woman advances on her? Oh, good question. Yeah, if you play the game, you will know. Again, check out that link on top of my chat to buy the game for 50% off, because you will know what will happen if a woman advances on her. I'm telling you, it's a good game. I'm telling you, Shrimply. It's 50% off now, so get it while it lasts. Yeah. So, to see this point of view is quite interesting on her. She literally has no remorse. She is like, I'm just gonna do it. No, I don't want to look back to it. I don't know. I don't care what you did, what I did. I'm just gonna do it, and this is how I roll. Bad villains are, like, my favorite. Like, she's just ruthless, and she's just going at it, and I love that type of villain. I love it. One would say it's a bad villain. One would say, well, she technically did win power back, you know, because she was the general, and she did succeeded on conquering other cities, you know. Genuine appreciation for others had never been her thing, and Priest Bui was no exception. He was simply a convenient chess piece in the game she played. She feigned a smile. Of course, I appreciate everything you've done for me. I will never forget you. Reading her expression and subtle signal for stopping the subject, Boy offered a solemn nod and put a red scarf over Empress Lefamme's head. He gently placed a yellow amulet on her and raised his hands to chant. The chanting grew louder. The candles flickered wildly and a cold gust of wind swept through the chamber. She clutched the object she brought tightly in her long sleeve. Everything around her blurred into a swirling vortex, the chanting, the sharp scent of incense, and then the faint but haunting screams of children. Their cries carried a raw resentment that she could feel deep in her bones. She winced and squeezed her eyes shut, desperate to block out their faces and their screams. Then pain erupted through her body, an unbearable, searing sensation. Time seemed to stretch unnaturally, or perhaps it was her perception twisting under the strain. Memories surged through her mind in a chaotic flood. Her mother's face, as seen in a painting she once secretly glimpsed at the altar. Her father playing with her brother, but never with her. The faces of the soldiers she killed, the heat of the battlefield fires, the iciness of the golden throne. Each fragment of her past clashed and swirled together, rising like a storm within her, and it became too much to bear, until darkness took over. When she opened her eyes again, she was no longer in the ritual chamber. She found herself in a strange-looking room, its walls adorned with intricate motifs unlike anything she had ever seen. Disoriented, she glanced around, but her heart fluttered with relief and excitement. The unfamiliar surroundings confirmed it. She had made it to the future. Her gaze landed on a crowd in the hallway, forming a line leading into another room. Above the entrance hung a white sign, its characters written in an indecipherable script. Intrigued, she reached out and repeatedly tapped the shoulder of a young woman standing in the line. "You there! Where are we? Why is this place so crowded?" The young woman turned, startled by the Empress's unusual attire. She hesitantly cleared her throat. This is the National Museum. There's a new exhibition today." "What is a museum?" The young woman blinked, giving her a puzzled look. But after a moment, her expression softened, and she explained patiently. "Well, it's a place where historical artifacts are collected and displayed." "Which historical artifacts?" "The exhibition today is showcasing personal belongings of Empress Lefemme from the 19th century. Isn't that fascinating?" Oh, okay, sorry. It's the 19th century. I said 18th. Silly me. A slow, curious smirk spread across Empress's lips. "Ah, I see." The young woman's gaze swept over her once more, her expression of a mix of concern and bewilderment. "Your outfit. Do you work for a theater or something? Aren't you cold? I heard it might snow today." 19th century is the ancient. I said 18th century instead of 19th century. So. Yeah. The Empress's eyes flickered. "Snow? Oh yes, strange, isn't it? This region is so hot. Snow has never fallen here before. Oh look." All I heard was 18th. I literally just blurted out a random number. I don't remember if that's correct or not at all, or even if there was a number. 1845 it is. Yeah, 1800s. 1866, 1867, 1820s. Yeah. But I said 18th century a couple of times accidentally, but it was actually 19th century. Oh, is it? Oh, hell yeah. Actually? No, actually 1845? Oh, hell yeah. I could have said 1866 and I could have gotten it wrong, but yeah. I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you, Sasquatch. Around them, the murmurs of the crowd turned into cheers. "It's snowing outside." Empress Lefam looked out the window, her gaze tracing the gentle descent of snow. Small flakes began to drift down from the heavens, soft and pure. 200 years before 2045. Yes, you are correct, indeed. No, it's not the first time. I'm sorry? The Empress lowered her head, her expression unreadable. Never mind. Where were we? A new exhibition, you said? The young woman nodded enthusiastically and started talking. Listening to the woman, Empress Lefam fidgeted with the object hidden in her sleeve. A folded piece of paper. The portrait Tang gave her when they were children. Its rough rice paper surface grazed against her fingertips. Delicate snowflakes continued to drift to the ground outside, the pure white quickly covering the paper. That is a random thing to find in your sleeve. Did she purposely have that in her sleeve? That's interesting. She purposely had it in her sleeve? The sight of it left her with a sense of incredible peace. Peace she felt for the very first time. I wanted to know more. I wanted to see more. No, it's the end! God dang it. Of course, it makes sense because that is the start of where it is, right? It's the most valuable object of her. That's why. That makes sense because Bui was like, oh, do you have a most like valuable object? And then so I guess so that is the most valuable object. I was like, that is a random thing to bring with you, but deep inside, I guess she really loved Tang, but she knew she couldn't. She didn't want to. Damn. Shrimply, I'm telling you. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Okay. If you guys didn't know, if you guys don't know by now, Little Snake Queen, right? The user, is this game's dev. Alright? So yes, go ahead and check out this game because she is awesome and she wrote it and I freaking love the way she wrote this game. Like, I am not even kidding. It's so good. She values him as an event coordinator. Yo, that's wild. Oh my god. It really be like that. It really be like that. Damn. This is such... Thank you, V. I'm so glad you could, like, sit with me and, like, watch me. Thank you so much for coming by. It means so much to me. Like, that's crazy. I had so much fun going through this POV and seeing how she thinks and how she plans things, her POV. This is so interesting because you can kind of see like she had her soft spots, right? Like she's in the beginning, you know, when she was a child, she didn't know what to do. She doesn't know what to feel. And then as she grows older, she has these interests and she just wants power. She wants her father's love and respect and acknowledgement, and it's the things she had to go through, and she's cold, you know, and she just she been through a lot in her own way, and to see that like drawing as her most valuable object is kind of like she also valued him in a different way. But again, it's like Sasquatch mentioned, like maybe she did see him as a event coordinator. Like she sees him as a tool, like a very, very important tool. That's why that's her most valuable object. Like, I wonder if she really loved him that much. I mean, like, that, you know, knowing that, like, you know, that scene of the White Lotus, like, I get it. She wants to keep him that way. She knows that she couldn't commit to it. Yeah, I have so many questions. Shrimply, I'm telling you this. You just need to play the game and do all the other bonus stuff, then you will see what I mean. Because this is only part of the POV from part of the game. Neneki, is this the critically acclaimed game? Nobunaga's Ambition. Damn. How you doing, Neneki? It's a cool game. It's a cool game, and you already know how much we love this game. Hell yeah. We have no idea what she truly thinks, right? Like, I'm so confused. I really want to know. I should have murdered these children, but here we are. Squash, please. It's unfortunate, but it'd be like that. Tang and Mai's romance content is the next one. I'm looking at these 3 more, and I'm so excited. Like, I know the DLC is gonna come soon. Like, there's more, and I'm like, ah! Tang and Mai's story. I can't wait to see this one. This will be interesting. I am better now that I can be here with. Oh, Neneki, you're too sweet. Thank you for the stretch and hydrate weeping. Oh my god, y'all. I cannot stress enough. This game will pull your attention. Like, you have attention span problems? No worries. This game got you. You want to know what it's like to be focused in a game? This game got you. I'm telling you, we spent hours in this game. Hours in this game. Actually, let me look at my Steam thing. What does this say? How many hours have we had in this game? By the way, we unlocked all the achievements. Yeah, we're that serious, okay? 29.7 hours played. Wait, hold on. Wait, no, that's recommended. Hold on. How many hours did I play in this game? I forgot how to check. Lamau. Hold on. How do you check again? How many hours you played in this game? I forgot. Oh, wait, I see it. 37.9 hours. Cure brain rot by being sad instead. Yeah, we did cry. We cried a lot in this game. Yeah. By the way, Shrimply, there's a collection. There's a collection after you do the main stories. There are special scenes with special peoples, and I'm telling you this. You're missing out if you don't try this game out, which is now 50% off, so go check it out on the, click the link in my chat that I pinned, or you miss out the 50% off. I'm telling you this. Yeah. I'm going to need a day off just to catch up. Shrimply, a day off is all you need. If you read fast, this is perfect. Like, you just need a day. Like, a couple of hours, you'll be fine. Because I talk a lot, and then I have to read it out loud, so it takes longer for me. It doesn't actually take almost 48 hours. It's because I'm slow. But, like, because we talk, you know, during stream and stuff. But if you play it yourself, you're gonna enjoy it. Absolutely. A lot of people that has been here watching me play this game has been glued to their seats. Almost a lot of them were like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next? Like, it's so good. It's so well made. Yep. 48 hours of appreciating good CGs. Exactly. I think average of this game is 8 hours. Oh, actually, that's not too bad at all. That's not too bad at all. Yeah. 8 hour? Half of the day? Hell yeah. It's so doable. Not including bonus content. Yeah, bonus content is not too bad. Bonus content, like, I think you could definitely get it done with, like, less than an hour. Yeah, it's, like, also really spicy. We love this. So, guys, please go check out Who Murdered My Empress. Like, it's... Whew, we cannot wait for more content that's about to come out. Like, we cannot wait. And you best bet, you best bet, we're gonna stream that extra content. We're gonna stream every single content that's gonna be out there, okay? Every single one. Because we love this game so much. And also, if you guys didn't know, V also mentioned a couple more other games that is getting ready to be launched soon, which you can definitely check out on the check it out and put it on your wish list, because not only is Who Murdered My Empress one of them, but there's a capybara cafe where you get to like be with capybaras and 3 hot 2D guys that works in a cafe. Like, hello, how cute is that? And not only that, but the new one that you know V just dropped on us, like the what's it called again? Broken Fate, another game announcement. When is that gonna drop? When is that gonna drop? Do we know? V, are you gonna give us a little sneak peek? Are you gonna tell us when it's gonna drop? Because I cannot wait. Don't forget to eat dinner, Chuck. Oh, thank you so much, Sasquatch. I will. I will eat dinner after this for sure. For sure. Don't you worry. I hope you eaten too. Hey, Choco, I'm gonna hire you to be my Squid Game salesman. I'll do it for free. I'll do it for free, V. I'll do it for free for you. I'm gonna drag everyone in here to play this game. Rock, paper, scissors. If you lose, you play this game. Broken Fate demo is coming soon, within 2 months. Hell yeah, you heard it, folks. Hot yandere guy. Wait, hold on. Let me read out the little summary here. A free yandere sim investigation visual novel, a psychological horror romance visual novel set in ancient Asia. Wake up without your memory in the peaceful yet airy Lotus Pavilion beside Han, a man who says he's your husband. Can you uncover the truth? Coming in 2 months. Oh my god. The demo? We have to play the demo. You'll see us back in 2 months, or the Capybara Cafe, whichever one comes first. You're gonna see us back here. We're gonna be playing it, and it's gonna be tons of fun. Y'all already know it. Y'all already know. Longer description on Twitter and Insta. Blue Sky has a syllable limit. Actually, okay, hold on. I'm just gonna put this here so that you guys know. So this is Blue Sky. If you guys are into Blue Sky, please go ahead and follow Little Sneak Studios. Then we have Twitter. So yeah, guys, give Little Snake Dev a follow. Definitely. Oh my god, you're right. There's so much more happening. Wait, what? It's a point-and-click investigation inspired by Ace Attorney. Wait, I love this! What? Wait, features, customizable protagonist name, beautiful yandere love interest. I like how you put that as the second. Point-and-click investigation exploration mechanics where you can collect clues and make deductions. I love that shit. I love to do, like, the theory stuff while I play. The game is designed to be highly replayable with lots of endings and non-linear branching depending on your investigation and choices. Ooh, even better. Beautiful anime-style CGs. Beautiful as always. Psychological thriller storytelling with a slow creeping sense of dread and richly atmospheric setting inspired by ancient Asia. Love that. Perfect for fans of otome games, yandere characters, and dark romance. We love a dark romance here. And yanderes. Hell yeah. Yeah, so go wishlist it right now. Right now, guys. Inspired by Ace Attorney? Yeah. Go check it out, Shrimply, now. Right now. Go. Go, guys, go. Go check it out. Hell yeah. Wishlist that so you guys could check it out once the demo comes out. Oh, this is so cool. This is awesome. Well, guys, this has been so fun, and I'm so happy that you guys could see Empress LaFamme's POV with me. This is so cool. We're gonna go over to the chat screen. I'm gonna be eating dinner soon, so we're gonna pick out who to rate now. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for indulging my interest in visual novel games. It was so fun. Thank you, Choco. Thank you, V. Thank you for coming by. And also, Spat Squatch, thank you so much for coming by as well. It's very nice to see you guys. I hope you guys have a very good night as well. Thank you for your stream. Thank you, and thank you for coming by. Y'all are awesome. So awesome. Hey, Yucky. Thank you for coming by, too. You know what? Tess is streaming. What is Tess streaming? Wildermyth. We're gonna go say hi to Tess. So let me tell you this, right? If you don't know about Tess, he is a very interesting VTuber because he plays variety games, but also very strategic based games, and he has the most calming, like, what's the word? Calming, serene, beautiful voice that you could like just fall asleep to. It's like ASMR, man. Like it's just how it is. He sounds like he has all the wise advice in the world to give you. That's how I would describe Tess. Literally. But thank you for introducing me to chat to this. Hell yeah, Shrimply. I'm so glad you took interest in this. You will see why we are so excited for this game. And I guarantee you will enjoy this game a lot. For sure, for sure. Yeah. And thank you, Weepy. Thank you for coming by too. Oh, wait, Win is here too. Oh, hell yeah. Hey, Ween. Thank you for coming by. Wait, how long have you been here? How come you didn't say hi? I didn't see you at first. I didn't see you. Okay. Anyways, we're gonna choose Tess. Alright, so this is our raid message. We, as per always, Choco Spooder raid. Let's do that. For the ones that are non-subs, go ahead and use this one. And thanks to Young Professor, he has gifted 5 subs. So for the ones that are subbed, you can now use the special Spooder emote. Not long. Oh, not long. It's okay. I'm so happy to see you, Ween. Thank you for dropping by. You're the best. We love you. Then we have this one for the ones that are subbed, so you can feel free to use that. And if you're not subbed, use the little hearts. That's fine too. All the love and support. Let's keep this train going and give it to Tess. So let's go ahead and start this here. Go. Great, Tess. Thank you so much, guys, for coming by and also making sure that we are well cared for. I appreciate that. And of course, thank you, lurkers. I know you're there, so I really appreciate your lurking. You're the best. And also, thank you so much, B-Nut, for the raid, and Young Professor for the generous support as always. You are so awesome. So I hope to see you guys next time. Good worketh. Indeed. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Sexy, for coming by. And Godzilla, if you're still here, good luck at work. And don't work so hard. You can do it. See you guys next time. Bye, guys. Have a good night or a good day. Bye-bye.